Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for week 185 of Build Your Stash and Craft. Today we're going to make some painty papers and we are going to make them with Kool-Aid. I've never done this before, but I've seen it done, and I've dyed my counters numerous times when my kids were little and when I was little by spilling it on the counter, so I'm guessing it's going to work. And so I did bring out some little extra containers to keep some extra if I wind up with extra. And then I just divided my papers into sets of 7 and one set of 5 because there was 40 sheets and we have 6 colors. And I've gathered some leaves and some sticks, and we're outside, and I am just going to start with, I think, about a cup of water. Maybe more than that, we'll see. I started out with 7.5 cups. And now I have 5.5 cups, so I've got about 2 cups of water here. I'm just gonna flatten it out in my pan. And we'll start with purple, well, black cherry, so kind of a maroon color maybe. And we're just gonna put that right in there. And just mix it in. Pretty sure you're going to want to have some gloves for this. We do have some gloves in our stash. I do have to say that these gloves were not from in our stash because I couldn't find mine and I wanted to get the video done, so I just used some other gloves that I had. But you're probably going to want some gloves. Now, there's still a few bits in the bottom here, and I'm going to leave those because maybe it will give us a little bit of a different color in those spots. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to submerge our papers, or paper, just one at a time. Just want to get it all covered, and then I'm going to just take it out and set it on the grass. Now, with it being on the grass, it's not going to be all level, and that will wind up giving us spots where the color will wind up maybe pooling a little bit. So I'm just going to take it out. Whoops. Rip a piece of the corner off and just set it over there. Then I'm just going to take a leaf. I'm going to dunk it in the color, and I'm going to set it on my paper so it looks like this. And I just set it wherever it fell. And I'm going to set this aside. My paper is folded here. I'm not going to worry about that. That fold will make a very straight line. So if you don't like straight lines on your papers, then you'll want to make sure that you would flatten that out, or or straighten that out. There's places here where the paper must have kind of crinkled as I ripped it out of the pad because it's soaking up more color there. And again, I'm just going to take it. I'll leave it there for a second. We'll take this one as a what is this one? It's a grapevine leaf. I'm going to put that one on there like that. Just pick it up and set it aside. And then when these get all dry, we'll go ahead and I'll come back and I'll show you what they look like. But I like to make sure that I get the color all over the place. I don't know what this tree is. I'm definitely not good with plants. Not only not knowing what they are, but also I'm just not good with plants. You wouldn't want to be a plant living in my house because you wouldn't live very long. I'm just going to set that one over there. And I'm going to do all 7 of these pieces of paper because I want to see how much color I have left. See if we do have color left. It smells really good. I'm not a big fan of straight lines, so I opened that up. This is a sassafras leaf. Something that I grew up with as a kid. And when we moved to this property, I was very happy to see that we had lots of sassafras trees on the property. Although As a kid, they were great. As a property owner, they spread like wildfire. But I still just love them. There. Got another sassafras leaf to put on that one. I think I'm going to dunk it in the color. Put it on that page, and I've got another one here. Put that on the same one. And I'm out of leaves, so I'm just going to do these ones just plain old red. And also when you set them in the grass, sometimes they get some really cool marks on them from the grass. But this is just a good way to do it without making a huge mess inside your house. And it really won't matter out here if I get some Kool-Aid on the grass. And there we go. So I've got 7 pieces. So that's all that I have for this color. And I'm going to wind up with lots extra. But I'm going to keep as much as I can fit in this little container, because then I can use it to paint on some of my papers. I'll put them in here and paint them with the paintbrush. We'll do that when we're all done. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through and I'm going to do all 6 colors just like this. And actually what I might do is I might really try only using 1 cup of water instead of filling the pan. It might be harder to color my paper, but that way I won't have as much left over and the colors may be darker. So I'm going to finish them all up, and then I will be back and show you what they look like after they're dry. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I had them all laid out nice and flat. There was no wind. Papa rang the bell. I had to go see what he wanted, and I came back out to having some of them blown around. So like here where they're together, that's going to mix those colors. But there's one flipped over that I don't think I want flipped over. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to straighten them out. I think I am going to straighten them out. I will straighten them out, and as they dry, they're going to tend to blow away even more. So, but this is what we have, and when they are completely dry, I will come back and show you what all of them look like. So I'll be back in just a bit. I figured I'd give you one more quick show and tell. So this is what they look like with the leaves placed on them as they're drying. Got them all flattened out for now until the wind comes again. And it's a fairly non-windy day. So if you're doing it on a windy day, you'll need to put like some sticks or something on them. But there we go. That is all of our papers. And now I'll be back when they're all dry to show you what they look like. Okay, I am back and we're going to see what they look like. So I forgot to save the blue, but I wound up with almost a container full of each of the different colors that then you can use to dye things. You can dump it out if you don't want to have these around where they could possibly spill. We paid $0.25 for the Kool-Aid, and let's see, this is on the bottom. Let's see what's on the top. Purple's on the top. Then the black cherry. Then the orange, then the yellow, then the blue, then the red. Okay. And I've got a few drips on here from when I brought them in. But what I'm going to do is we're going to do the reveal, and then I'm going to just set them aside a little bit for any parts that might be a little bit damp, and let them actually dry. Then I'll stick them under a heavy book and let them dry so that they get nice and flat. But I don't do that till they're dry so that they don't wind up sticking together, because sometimes if they're wet and if you put them under something heavy, they will stick together. So the first color is grape, and so this was just a plain one. And even though we have, the drip here, if you look, in different spots, you can see where it's kind of purple, kind of pink, even a little, almost a bluish purple. And that's because, you know, these are not like a solid artist grade dye. And so, you know, the dyes kind of, you know, they mix a few colors together to get the color they want. And those dyes kind of separate when you do this. And so it makes it look really cool. This is a little distracting to me, and this will dry because those are wet. But I love the way that it looks. I love how the colors, how the different dyes separate. And look here. Look at this one. We've got pink, we've got blue, we've got purple, and then a purplish pink. And that is just because of the way that the dye separated as it was drying. We've got a little bit of grass marks on there. And so I like the way that that one turned out. Now we're going to see what this one looks like. And so here we go. When this is dry, I will go ahead, a little bit of the leaf stuck right there. I'll kind of take that off after it dries. But that looks very cool. Again, we've got that color seepage on the outside. And then we do have the shape of the leaf. On this side, we've got the leaf also because it's soaked through. Here's our grape. This is from the grapevine. Ooh, and that one turned out great. I love the way that these turned out. I'm not so sure the colors here are very vibrant. They look really nice. Looking through my camera, I'm hoping that when you see this, you'll get a better color because this looks really good. And then on the other side, now this one I went ahead and I put just a piece of grass on there. And so we've got that look there. And that came through to the other side too. I just love the way that these turned out. So they're very fun and very cheap to do. So go ahead and give it a try. And the other thing is they smell good. So not like when you're first dyeing them, but they do still have kind of a nice smell to them. And so there we go with that was a plain red. Here we've got another grapevine leaf. That one didn't turn out too well. But that's just how it goes. This one, we've got a little bit of the sassafras here. And that one didn't do a whole lot. It did give us some markings, but it doesn't look specifically like that leaf. Okay, and those two sassafras, they turned out okay. This was a plain red one. Oh, no, it wasn't. This one had one of those on the back. It just blew off before I got out there. We have this one. Now this is the orange. So that was just a plain orange one. And then we have a sassafras leaf on this one. I like the way that that turned out. And I really like the way that that orange bled out like that with that darker color. And there's another one of the grapevines. That looks really pretty. This one I just put some grass on the top. A few little marks on there. Really didn't do a whole lot. But it's fun to try and then see what you wind up getting in the end. That one, the leaf really didn't really turn out, but it gave us a really nice look there in that corner. These are from my tiger lilies, actually my mother's tiger lilies. And those did turn out. Those showed up, so that's kind of cool. Now we're on to, this is yellow, which the yellow did not turn out very well. It has some red splattered on it though. I don't know if that was maybe in the color of the yellow or not. This one had a leaf on it that wound up blowing away, but it didn't get much of a... I was hoping since the yellow was so light that it would, you know, like take the color of, or take the shape of the leaves to give it a little more interest, but it didn't. But it's still better than white. So, you know, it'll give us a nice kind of off color. And then we've got our blue. This one was just a plain one. Another one with some grass, because I poked a hole in the middle, so I figured I'd save my leaves for the other ones. And then, well, those ones did not turn out too well. I thought that they really would because they stick really well. This one wound up with red on it as they were blowing all over the place. Let's see how that one, that didn't really do much either. There's a little bit there. Might show up a little more when it dries. This one just had a piece of the red paper that landed on it. Got a fern. Oh, I was hoping the fern would turn out. That didn't turn out either. Now this is the red or cherry. And that one, the leaves did show up on that one, so that one's good. These ones work really well. I like the looks of that one. Ooh, and I like the looks of that one. So it's all just about playing. You know, you just go out there, grab something and stick it on there. You could stick some rocks on there. You could do whatever. Ooh, look at that one. That one turned out really well. I hope you can see these because they're not showing up on my camera by the looks of it very well. Ooh, that one did turn out. Yay. Love ferns. Can you see that? That one did turn out. That's really cool. And then this one was just a plain one. So I am happy with the way that these worked out. I think that it's definitely worth the time. And for what the paper cost us $1, the Kool-Aid cost us $1.50. So for $2.50, you can wind up with all of these colored papers to use in any kind of a project that you want to. So, because, you know, you can use them for cards, for journals, for making flowers, making embellishments. You can use them for anything. And I think that they turned out really nice. And if you just want colored paper, you can just color the paper. You don't have to put the leaves on them. I just do that kind of, you know, just because I like the looks of it. In here, the yellow is looking almost a little green. So, but there we go. That is our painty papers, and I think that's as far as we're going to go today because I have to get things cleaned up. But I really do appreciate you stopping by. I hope if you try this that you have a good time, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.